And that's how the theme song goes. Hey, welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. And if you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscolony.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Again, classic Wednesday afternoon. I just got done recording the application podcast. If you don't know what that is, it's a podcast where I sit down and I talk to myself for 30 minutes. Sounds so familiar, right? But I'm begging WABE, or Atlanta's NPR news station, for a job to be their audio/podcast producer. I'm just now realizing I seem to be forgetting to mention that every single episode. I mean, I'm talking about, I do want the job and everything, but it's pretty much, it has just gone off the rails. I'm not going to talk about it here because that's too much talking about that stuff. Go on over to subscribe to the application. Listen to the podcast. I swear it's good. It's better than this one because this one definitely tries too hard. I'm adjusting the mic so much and you can hear every second of it. Go check out the application on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your freaking podcasts. And now on to this show. So I've been doing both of these shows. He's just jumping right back on the train. I've been doing both of these shows. It's real fun. I got something big coming up next week. I'll talk about it in a second, but first, I want to talk about shows I was supposed to be watching, which was Manifest and The First. It sounds like I'm doing this on purpose. It sounds like I'm doing, what's it called? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type and do this at the same time. It sounds like I'm doing this on purpose. It sounds like I'm being Jimmy Kimmel's. I'm Matt Damoning this, the First. And the other one, Manifest. But God bless America, I have just been caught up not watching those shows. I've been watching other things that I think are worth my time. No offense to those shows. Not that I'm saying like they're not worth my time, but they definitely are they're worth my time. I just can't watch them right now. I can hear the children outside. This microphone is very strong. Also, these windows and walls are very, very thin. But yeah, it sucks because, recently, I was on my Hulu account. I use Hulu pretty much every day. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I've like Hulu and Netflix. I have subscribed to them from day one. When Hulu was around in like 2007, 2008, I was on there. Like I was one of the first people on there, which is crazy for a child of my age to be watching free. It was free then, free and ad supported. Watching like latest ABC shows on that or latest Fox shows. It was so crazy. And Netflix. Like I was subscribing to the DVD service, like when I was in middle school, like that was like I had that in Blockbuster, which is really crazy. And elementary school, I believe, because they've been around since the early 2000s, like the late 90s, early 2000s. So anyway, I cleared my mouth off mic. There's a bunch of food on it, and I cleared it off. I wiped it off. So anyway, I've been so back to my Hulu account. A couple weeks ago for the Emmys, I got Hulu with live TV for the week to watch the Emmys live. It's a great service. Makes me realize that there's still too much stuff on TV. Just during the day. Just crazy amount of things. I don't know why, but Friday night, Hulu with live TV. So I had the trial. Trial's done. I stopped having live TV. I don't know why. Friday night, live TV came back for me from Friday to this past Tuesday. And I just had live TV for the weekend, and it was great because I got to watch a whole bunch of things. I got to watch football on Sunday. It was wonderful, and there's nary a hiccup. But Comcast is the worst internet provider. Google, this is where I live. Google Fiber is here. It's in my I can get it. I can see the Google Fiber store from where I live. I shouldn't be talking about this. I can see it from where I live, and I really want Google Fiber, but I don't think my roommates would go for it. Because I don't think they know what fiber is, but that's neither here nor there. So let's get on moving on to the shows that I want to talk about. So all that to say, I will watch Manifest and The First at some point. Anyway, so if I Feel Bad is a show that is on NBC, and it is from, I think I already talked about this show, but I've been watching this show more and more. It's a wonderful show. Definitely, like I said, get past the pilot. But I feel bad is I think most bestly is accompanied with single parents in such a good way that I watched both of them in the same way. And I'm starting to realize that those are the two shows I wasn't supposed to be talking about. But I think they're both coupled together. Watch them in the best way. But on the other hand, these are the two shows I was supposed to be talking about. It's a very strange thing when you watch a show and there's an actor in there that you really, really like, but the show is just not good. And for these next two shows, I hate to say it, I love the cast so much. I love every single person in both of these casts. But God bless America, are these shows bad. I'm going to stop banging my laptop. Oh, Adobe updated all of its programs. It does it twice a year in April and August, in April and October. It updates them. And so far, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I knocked my toes on wood right now. I'm doing it right now. It's Adobe Audition is great. Premiere is great. So far, no crashes, nothing. We'll see what happens. I got to keep monitoring these levels. But so all I had to say is CBS, I know they're the highest rated in the nation, in the world for broadcast television. But God almighty, they have the worst shows. And it really, really sucks to see these amazing people on these shows. And basically, I mean, yeah, you get it. The good thing about a multicam is it's a 9-to-5 job. You go in there, you rehearse, you shoot on Fridays, you rehearse all week, you shoot Fridays, and that's the episode. And it's quick in succession. It's like if there's an easier job, it would be working for a soap opera. It'd be like soap operas, multicams, single cams, and then dramas. Yeah, genres would work. So Happy Together and The Neighborhood, two comedies that are basically the same. It's so strange. The Neighborhood is about a white family that moves into a black neighborhood, and it's kind of about gentrification, but they wouldn't, if this is a single cam, it would be about gentrification. Since it's a multicam, it's just a black neighbor hates his white neighbor. It stars Cedric the Entertainer, Max Greenfield, Sean McKinney, Marcel Spears, Tachina Arnold, and Beth Burrs, and Hank Greenspan. Now you'll notice two of those names are from two different shows, both canceled. One is from The Mayor, and the other one is for, I think, Marcel Spears. They don't have their own Wikipedia pages, so I got to look this up manually. I think Marcel Spears he's from The Mayor. And then Sean McKinney is from Great News. Now, both of those shows were good, and then they were canceled, and now they're on these shows. and it's a wonderful cast of people, and now they have to just deal with being on a very mediocre show. But I think, and I want to double check. So and I also want to move on to Happy Together really quick. Happy Together is, it's about a couple, a couple that they're not adopting a pop star, but a pop star comes to live with them, a British pop star, much akin to like a Harry Styles. Like that's the kind of pop star. Adjusting the mic again while this is live. That's pretty much, that's who it is. Mary Holland was in the pilot. Good for her. Oh, and James Corden was in the, what? Did he produce the show? I feel like James Corden produced this show for some reason. No, he didn't. Anyway, so that's what it is. So that's Damon Wayans Jr., Amber Stevens West, Stephanie Weir, Victor Williams, who is from King of Queens, Chris Parnell, and I don't know who Felix Millard is. Let's look this guy up. Ben Kirk. Oh, is his stage name Felix Millard? What? Why did it lead over here? He's just some British guy. Oh, he's a fictional character from the show Neighbors. Oh, he doesn't have his own Wikipedia page. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, so listen to this. We have about 10 actors who are who are just these. I don't understand. I don't know. It's killing me It's really killing me how they're on these shows. I also wanted to double check. James Burrows, he usually has a hand in all of these Jesus, in all of these shows, but in these multicams, but he doesn't have a hand in Happy Together. But there's not really much to say because, like I said, I got Hulu with live TV, and I got a chance to check out these shows this week when they were airing live, brand new episode, and it's just like any recent multicam. It's a show that has easy jokes with piped in laughs that the actors, they're doing their best with. And there was one joke that I think this is like the third episode. I want to make this clear just in case. Let's Work It Out is what it's called. The third episode of this of Happy Together. So Damon Wayans Jr.'s character is married to Amber Stevens West's character, and they've basically gotten to an easy funk, and the pop star is there to help him out. I don't know. And he's also hiding out their house. I don't know the story. I only watched about 10 minutes of the show. So they're in the pantry, and they're getting rid of all the junk food they have because the pop star is trying to get them back in shape. And they turn to like these trash bins, giant trash bins for some reason. And Damon Wayans Jr. is pouring out like cereals, and he has different puns for every cereal. And they're just the most thought over puns, like the most overbaked, easy puns. And it just sucks so much. The jokes, they come flying, but they're also it's like playing wiffle ball. It's like a kid playing wiffle ball, a child wiffle ball game. The ball is sitting. Am I thinking of the right game? Is wiffle ball the thing where the balls are sitting on a pedestal type dealie, and then they get a little smack? The kids smack them, and sometimes they go far, and not often they don't. They don't go far, and the ball just bounces and rolls. But that's how Happy Together and The Neighborhood on CBS feel. And this is the part that I'm cutting out for the Instagram. That's why I said the names of the shows again. You're welcome. But it's complicated in that I understand that these multicams, they take time, but they're also easy to shoot. But these actors are lucky to get these jobs. I don't understand why CBS continues to make something so easy. Man with a Plan is still going on, apparently. Kevin James's show is not. I wonder what kind of ratings that show got versus, they killed off a very capable actress for Leah Remini, who I have no issues with, but it's just sad that they had to kill somebody off for it. They didn't have to. They could have brought her in and then made James cheat with cheat with Leah Remini on Aaron Hayes. Aaron Hayes gets mad. They get a divorce. They fight. Bring her back. That's like the contemptuous wife. Contemptuous. Am I using these words right? Listen, guys, it's been a long week, and it's only Wednesday. But it's difficult to watch these shows and to see. But you know what? I was really surprised when I saw Victor Williams. I thought, oh my gosh, Victor Williams, amazing, is in a TV show again. Speaking of Kevin James, he was in King of Queens. Victor Williams. Chris Parnell's in this show. I wonder if this interferes with his what's it called? The show on Freeform, Grownish. Jesus. That show was called college-ish. As for The Neighborhood, I could tell I didn't know Happy Together existed, but The Neighborhood, it was recasted, so we knew what was coming. We kept seeing, they had to reshoot the pilot, all these different parts of the pilot. I wonder if they reused parts of the pilot. But, Beth Burrs, bringing in Beth Burrs and Max Greenfield. I like them both. I don't even know Beth. I love Max. I like Beth. The ratings seem to have dipped since the pilot, going down from 8.10 to 6.43. So that's interesting to see. Happy Together started at 5.95 and is down at 4.68 for this past week, which is not good. Not good at all. But I want to see everybody work, and that's the issue. I want to see everybody have a job. I really do, and I just hope that this is somehow better for them. Hey, listen, we're going to go ahead and take a break. I got nothing to talk about during the break, so stick with it, and we'll see you in the next half of whatever this show is. The Constitutionals. Okay, all right, here we go. And we're back. Oh my gosh. Did you miss me during the break? I'm just adjusting myself. Not, if you're listening to the audio version, I wasn't adjusting my genitals. I was adjusting the seating position on the futon. You should definitely check out the video version of this show because it was not dirty in the slightest. So let's get into the thing I want to talk about, which apparently I wanted to talk about last week, but I didn't. It happened. It happened the next day. So everybody is starting their own streaming service, which is a very serious problem. The reason when so streaming became big when people realized they could get everything they wanted on Netflix. Well, about 40% of what they wanted on Netflix. That 40% turned into the 100% when they realized they don't want to continually watch reality shows or see reruns of I don't know. Jesus, Chad, think of a show. Reruns. They didn't want to see reruns on television, like of old comedies and stuff like that. And then I think there was a golden age for streaming, which was about 3 years ago when streaming numbers were going up. When it's like 3 years ago, when streaming numbers were just exploding, people were flocking to Netflix because it was, you pay, and this is when Netflix was $10 a month. You pay $10 a month and you get to watch so many shows. Plus Netflix is just starting to make their own shows. They're promising to put out 500 hours of their original shows, original stuff by the end of the year. And it's great. And we don't have to have cable anymore. And now we're at this plateau, which basically happened last year, where you have shows leaving Netflix and going to Hulu because they can make more money getting ad support, over time versus getting a lump sum from Netflix. You have Disney wanting to make their own streaming service and wanting to take everything except for the Marvel created Disney shows that are on Netflix, like created specifically for Netflix, just leaving them on there. You got broadcast networks making their own streaming services. You have cable networks making add-ons to streaming services like FX Plus, which is you get ad free, $5. You pay $5 on top of your cable fee, on top of your streaming thing to get ad free stuff from them. Oh my God, it's just so much, so much. But you can't get FX Plus without subscribing to cable or to streaming. So you either subscribe to Hulu and get FX Plus, or you subscribe to Charter Spectrum and get FX Plus. So there's so many people having their own streaming services. And now here we are. Warner Media is launching a direct-to-consumer streaming service in the fourth quarter of 2019. Fourth quarter is basically next year around this time. John Stankey announced the company is going to do the same thing that Disney's doing by the end of 2019. Much like how DC Comics is doing, which is also owned by Warner. Side note, I was talking to somebody. Actually, no. This part's not true. I wasn't talking to them about it. I mean, we weren't discussing it. I was talking to them about it, and they did not give a crap, as evidenced by them not responding to my message. But I was talking to somebody about how Warner, when AT&T acquired Time Warner, they changed the name to Warner Media, and I thought that was the craziest thing in the world. And that person did not agree. I'm such a boring boy. So Stanky said Warner Media would launch a streaming service that would draw from the media company's broad collection of films, television shows, animation, and its library, which is basically all the stuff I just said. This new OTT offering would augment the company's other streaming services like HBO Now. I think it's so basically what they're saying is they're going to make their own streaming service. It's going to be something that can compete with. It's not fighting to replace Netflix. they're just going to it's going to be an add-on service, something that it's complimentary, you know. And here's a quote for them. Stanky said, "The combined offer will not look like anything out there. Our job isn't to build another Netflix. Our job is to build a compelling content offering." So basically, he knows he can't compete. They know they can't compete, but they're going to get right in there, and they're going to continue doing whatever it is they do over there. So we have two ends of the spectrum for Warner, who already had the company that already has a streaming network. They have two streaming services. HBO Now, which is $15 for the premium tier of their shows. Like, that's the most premium thing they own. And then they have DC's streaming service, which is DC Universe, which you can, I think, only get on your laptop, on your computers, and on your phones and tablets. And that's $9 a month. And that's a very niche thing. And I'm going to wager as much, HBO, you can get HBO Go, right? Or Now. You can get Now. No, Go is for cable. You can get HBO Now via Amazon channels. And it's still the same $15 a month, but you just go to Amazon and watch your HBO stuff there. I can wager as much to say I'd wager that DC Universe will at some point be put on Amazon channels, just as a way for people to watch it. Because I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox, I have a Nintendo Switch. They all have their apps and stuff. That's the only way I'm going to watch stuff on it. I don't watch stuff on my phone. And there's plenty of people like me. I don't watch stuff on my phone. I don't watch stuff on my laptop. I don't watch stuff on my old decrepit iPad. Because I prefer the television. Because I'm not an imbecile. I'm not a moron. But it simultaneously makes sense why they're doing this, but it also, because it's also, let me finish that slide. It simultaneously makes sense to do this, but it doesn't. What if it doesn't work out? Because there are plenty of streaming services that have died, CISO, that didn't work out, CISO. And a lot of them that just aren't doing well. CBS All Access, that's doing great because not only is it the highest rated broadcast network in the world, but I think there's two tiers for it. I think there's like an ad supported version that's like $5, and then I think there's another version that's $9, and you get almost all the shows that were on CBS, stuff that you can't stream anywhere else. And obviously, they're going to block. Warner's not going to have stuff that's already able to stream on other networks. Not going to have that streaming anymore. And that's what sucks about this. And this separating all these different shows and movies and stuff, I don't think that's great, because I used to watch every single year starting around this time. I used to watch Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, like an episode or two every Saturday morning, to treat like a Saturday morning cartoon. And then I would end around March or April, something like that. May, sometimes May. And then they took those off of Netflix. They let the contract expire. That's how that happens. And now it's on the streaming service, but I'm not paying $9 to watch DC Universe. No offense to them. When all of Titans is out, I'll do the and they have a free trial. I will subscribe during the free trial. I'll watch all the Titans, and then I won't ever subscribe to DC Universe again. Because if I wanted to read a comic book, I'll just go read a comic book. I'm not gonna. They have all that different stuff. We just live in a different time now. Like, imagine if all of these, if we had the technology back in the 90s when cable was big, when cable was huge in its prime, and we were talking about splintering all these different services. Okay, you get the Disney Channel, and you get Toon Disney. This is like 2005. You get Toon Disney, and you get the Disney Music Channel, Radio Disney, and you get all for $14. and we would have no choice but to pay it. And then somehow they mess with your cable box, and then it just opens up the pathway for it. It's very strange. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But we got to keep going through with it. All right, I'm done. Hey, if you like this, why don't you head on over to cpluscomedy.com, where there's some stuff going on. I got a couple interviews. Actually, if you're listening to the audio version of this, you can stay subscribed to the RSS feed. Don't unsubscribe. Please don't. This is not the last episode. Tomorrow you will get a very special interview I did with Ryan Singer. He's a comedian. He has a new album out called Free Love. And quite frankly, I'm going to put up his interview because it is a very long interview that I did. It's only like 20-something minutes. So listen to it. It's a good interview. I think I did a good job asking questions. You can also head on over to, and I did a Brian Babylon interview too. Brian Babylon, great comic. Good guy. He's a panelist on Wait, Don't Tell Me, and that is one of the main reasons I want to talk to him. Really funny man. Definitely check out his album and check out the interview I did with him. And check out the application. Like I said, I'm just begging WABE for a job. And listen, if anybody from WABE is subscribed, I suspect at least 0 of you are. Why don't you? Why don't you hire me? Because I will. I'm just gonna let you know right now. I will continue doing the News Times and the Constitutionals. I'm so tired. I gotta stop talking. Speaking of News Time, that is a weekly entertainment news show that I do. Definitely check that one out. It's a good show. It's a good show. That's like what a parent says about their bad child. He's a good kid. It's a good show. Definitely check it out. I like it a lot. And this week's episode is about Annapurna Pictures, how it's struggling to make money, even though it has some of the most award-winning films like Phantom Thread and Detroit, some of the most important films of the past few years, and yet it's still not making money. So definitely check it out. It's a good episode. And specifically, I love the cold open. It's a cold open where I play Colin Powell in a Colin Powell biopic, and it's in a trailer format, and it's super serious, and I love it and so much. So definitely check it out. Subscribe to us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at @C+Comedy, both at @C+Comedy. Follow me on Twitter at @ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook, and continue doing the best thing you can do. I'm done here. I'm hanging up now. I love you so much. Bye.